Kris Kristofferson, country music legend and A Star is Born leading man, dies at 88. Kris Kristofferson, who attained success as both a groundbreaking country music singer-songwriter and a Hollywood film and TV star, died Saturday at home in Maui, Hawaii. No cause of death was given, but he was described as passing away peacefully while surrounded by family. He was 88, said his family in a statement. "It is with a heavy heart that we share the news our husband, father, grandfather, Kris Kristofferson passed away peacefully on Saturday, September." He was born June 2, 1936 in Brownsville, Texas. His father was a career Army Air Corps and Air Force officer, and his family moved frequently. He attended high school in San Mateo, California, where he proved both a strong student and a gifted athlete. He graduated summa cum laude with a degree in English from Pomona College and attended Oxford University in England as a Rhodes Scholar. While in the UK, Kristofferson cut his first records as Kris Carson. However, on returning to the US, he joined the Army under pressure from his family. He ultimately attained the rank of captain and was able to pilot a helicopter. However, on the eve of beginning an assignment to teach English at West Point, he left the Army, and in 1965 he moved to Nashville to pursue music full-time. His family promptly cut ties with him. Kristofferson had already spent several modestly successful years in Music City's songmills by the time he broke through as the author of such #1 country hits as For the Good Times, Ray Price, 1970, Sunday Morning Coming Down, Johnny Cash, 1970, and Help Me Make It Through the Night, Sammy Smith, 1971. His song, Me and Bobby McGee, became a posthumous #1 pop hit for his former paramour Janis Joplin in 1971. His first 4 albums for Monument Records, which showcased his rough, unmannered singing and poetically crafted proto-outlaw country songs, all reached the country top 10, and 1972's Jesus Was a Capricorn, which contained his #1 country hit Why Me, topped the country LP chart. He won 3 Grammys for Best Country Song, Help Me Make It Through the Night, and a pair of duets with Rita Coolidge, to whom he was married from 1973 to 1980. Bill C. Malone noted in Country Music USA, the standard history of the genre, Kristofferson's lyrics spoke often of loneliness, alienation, and pain, but they also celebrated freedom and honest relationships, and an intimate, sensuous language that had been rare to country music. Kristofferson could be the first to knock his own voice. "I don't think I'm that good a singer," he said in a 2016 Rolling Stone interview. "I can't think of a song that I've written that I don't like the way somebody else sings it better." But with many of his signature songs, fans would not have wanted them channeled through any other voice, least of all one that smoothed out their raw sentiments. The musician's lean good looks and laid-back persona made him a natural for pictures. He made his first mark on screen in Bill L. Norton's 1972 feature Cisco Pike, in which he played the titular character, an LA musician and drug dealer under the thumb of a corrupt narcotics cop, Gene Hackman. The feature also employed several Kristofferson songs on its soundtrack. Through the 70s he enjoyed a rising movie profile, playing the romantic lead opposite Susan Anspach in Paul Mazursky's Bloom in Love, 1973, and Oscar winner Ellen Burstyn in Martin Scorsese's Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, 1974. In 1977, co-billed with Barbra Streisand, he won a Golden Globe Award as a dissolute rock star in the 3rd version of A Star is Born. However, he hit hard bumps in Hollywood in a couple of legendarily troubled productions. He co-starred with James Coburn in Sam Peckinpah's ambitious 1973 western Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, appearing as the notorious outlaw. The film became a notorious cause célèbre after it was taken out of the director's hands and recut by MGM. Kristofferson went on to star in Peckinpah's Convoy in 1978, based on C.W. McCall's CB radio-themed hit. While the film made money, the actor's notices were dismal. Kristofferson's acting career never completely recovered after he starred in Michael Cimino's 1980 Western epic Heaven's Gate. Dogged by pre-release chatter about cost overruns and Cimino's on-set perfectionism, the film received devastating reviews, and was almost immediately withdrawn from release and drastically re-edited. United Artists, which was sold to MGM by Transamerica in the wake of the debacle, wrote off the picture's entire $44 million cost a week after its premiere. Its title became virtually synonymous with Tinseltown excess and hubris. In the face of withering criticism, Kristofferson always maintained a staunch defense of Heaven's Gate, which later gained critical respect. In a 2012 video interview included in the Criterion Collection's home video release of the film, he said, "Both Michael and his movie deserved better. It deserved being treated like a work of art, and not as some failed economic venture." During the 80s, he slowly regained his career footing. With Willie Nelson, who recorded a best-selling album of Kristofferson's songs in 1979, he co-starred in Alan Rudolph's 1984 feature Songwriter. Their collaborative song score received an Academy Award nomination. In 1985, Kristofferson, Nelson, Johnny Cash, and Waylon Jennings convened for the album Highwaymen, a #1 country album that introduced the outlaw country supergroup. Ultimately known as the Highwaymen, the quartet issued 2 more popular albums in 1990 and 1995. His film career continued apace, albeit in smaller roles. He ultimately tallied more than 100 movie and TV acting appearances. In 1996, he garnered strong reviews as a sadistic Texas lawman in John Sayles' Lone Star. In 1998, he made the first of 3 appearances as vampire hunter Abraham Whistler opposite Wesley Snipes in the popular comic book franchise Blade. After parting ways with Monument in the early 80s, Kristofferson recorded solo only sporadically. He nonetheless received strong reviews for 3 poignant and personal latter-day albums: A Moment of Forever in 1995, This Old Road in 2006, and Closer to the Bone in 2009, nakedly produced by Don Was. He issued 2013's Feeling Mortal, on his own KK Records imprint. A 2004 inductee in the Country Music Hall of Fame, Kristofferson received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Recording Academy in 2015. At the time of the latter honor, his contemporary and friend Rodney Crowell wrote that Kristofferson had created a narrative style that introduced intelligence, humor, emotional eloquence, spiritual longing, male vulnerability, and a devilish sensuality, indeed, a form of eroticism, to country music. In later years, Kristofferson suffered from memory loss, although it was misdiagnosed for many years, he and his family said. He was told he either had dementia from Alzheimer's disease, or was suffering from blows to the head suffered as a football and rugby player and boxer as a young man, but in 2016 a doctor diagnosed him as testing positive from Lyme disease. He was taking all these medications for things he doesn't have, and they all have side effects, his wife Lisa told Rolling Stone, adding that his condition improved once he stopped taking the drugs for other conditions. She said that he still suffered from memory lapses, but some days he's perfectly normal, and it's easy to forget that he is even battling anything. His friend Chris Gantry told Closer Weekly, "It's like Lazarus coming out of the grave and being born again." Despite the memory issues, he continued performing full sets up until the beginning of the pandemic in early 2020. Among his final public appearances, Kristofferson participated in duets on both nights of the Willie Nelson 90th birthday celebration at the Hollywood Bowl in 2023, singing "Loving Her Was Easier Than Anything I'll Ever Do Again" with Roseanne Cash on the first night, and "Help Me Make It Through the Night" with Norah Jones on the second. Of his pairing with Cash, which was arguably the most moving moment of either night, Variety's reviewer wrote, "Kristofferson's voice wasn't built for sweet harmony singing even in the best of days. But how sweet it was, regardless, as Cash gave her spiritual uncle all the support he needed to make this sad memory song feel like a warm communal hug." Bob Dylan held Kristofferson in such high regard that he quoted Sunday Morning Coming Down at length in an unexpectedly long speech, accepting an award from the Recording Academy's MusiCares Foundation in 2015. Speaking about other songwriters, Dylan said, "Everything was all right until Kristofferson came to town. Oh, they ain't seen anybody like him. He came into Nashville like a wildcat, flew his helicopter into Johnny Cash's backyard like a typical songwriter, laughter. And he went for the throat, Sunday Morning Coming Down.